There are a lot of horrible Nintendo DS games out there because, well, it was an era where developers just made whatever in order to get some quick cash on one of the best selling handhelds of all time. While these games are definitely bad, they are funnily enough 300 times better than the lazy slop we actually see today. But that's not what this video is about. Today I played through another 3 of the worst games that have been released on the Nintendo DS. I truly like making videos like this, so yeah, this is a little series now, and I will continue to make videos until I'm tired of it or I run out of video games. Our first runner-up of a horrible game is Best of Tests, which is basically a kid version of an IQ test, put in a video game with a nice coat of paint. We start the game with an intelligence test on the easiest difficulty, on the shortest course, because that's honestly all that is available to me. I did wish I could just instantly start with the more difficult tests, because that would be really a test of intelligence for me. But alas, I got to start with the easy section, and it's honestly not too bad. The game works well and the questions are actually kind of well thought out and really remind me of those IQ tests. I'm not really sure why it is called Best of Tests, though, because simply put, I don't think these are the best tests one could get out there. These are the most normal ones. I think they just put a bunch of those tests together and just ran with it. But then again, who in their right mind, especially children, would want to make a bunch of tests in their free time when school exists? This is not really a game, this is just actually an IQ test or something. Obviously, in order to continue with the game, you actually have to pass. A 5 out of 10 is more than enough to move on to the next section, where you get 20 questions instead of 10. Hooray! What riveting gameplay and how much more difficult this is. This was definitely just implemented to add some more game time. This is padding. The only other thing I did while playing this game was a memory test, which basically is structured in the same way as the intelligence tests, so I am forced to start with easy and get through a bunch of the tests, and I absolutely nailed it because I have such a good memory and it was also just easy. Yeah, look at that, it's just easy, man. There's no way I could have failed it. And that's honestly all this game has to offer. You can also train a bit, but the training is exactly the same as the other things, I am sure of it. I don't think the game is bad per se, but at the same time I think why does this game exist, right? This is like a game your parents would buy you, so you could get a Nintendo DS for the other games, right? You would be like, yeah, I'll play that game for sure, I'll be smarter like that. And that's exactly why this game exists. Just for kids to get a Nintendo DS on their hands with a good excuse. But yeah, I don't think this game is actually bad per se, and I do think the IQ tests or whatever were really nice. It's not the best, but I honestly needed some time to think on some of these questions, and that's good. And I think if a child was actually playing this, in the summer vacation from time to time, the kid would probably be better at problem solving. So hey, there you have that. It's not that bad, but I can see why it's all the way at the bottom of the list. The next game is also a stylus only game, and it's Yanga World Tour. Yeah, you already know this is going to be a bad game, considering making a Yanga game will always be less fun than the actual Yanga. In Yanga World Tour we play Yanga against a computer, and well, I would say that the computer cheats, cause I kept on losing, but I don't think that's it. This game is just not good. There's no way for you to actually check if the tower will be falling or not. And aside for that, the gameplay is also just boring. Why? Every strategy you know from the actual Yanga is thrown out of the window in this game. We get some other abilities too, we get some nails that I still have no idea what they do because we did not get a tutorial, and a ball that if you press it, it shows you what blocks are safe, and then I press on them and get the wrong one. Yeah, this game isn't really great with the touchscreen, I'm not gonna lie. This game is just broken, but I must say, there's one thing that impresses me, and that's actually just the engine. I think they did a decently well job with making Yanga Tower fall and all the calculations behind it. I think it's really well done. That's it. That's all the positive I can say about this game. Alright? There's no other positive here. This game, it just blows. This game shouldn't exist at all. There shouldn't be a reason for you to get this game aside for, you know, being a collector or something. Because, yeah, you know, collectors don't play video games, so they will get this game, never play it, and never know how bad it is. You know what? You could actually get an actual Yanga set for probably the same price as the game. Okay, maybe not, but I'm not sure. I like to think that way. The next game is from a very beloved franchise that has recently only been putting out crap, but back then they had a lot of bangers. Yes, it's Pokémon, of course it's Pokémon. Okay, I'm kinda joking, okay? Pokémon hasn't really brought out any crap. I think they just need more development time on the games they just recently released. That's it, that's all they had to do, that's all. Alright, I think the gameplay is fine with the newer Pokémon games. Either way, it is time to lock in and look at what is ahead, and that's Pokémon Dash. The Pokémon game on the Nintendo DS that took a minigame from probably one of the mainline games and made an entire game out of it. We first get prompted with a long tutorial, but it really does give us the best tutorial there is. It gives us the gist of the whole game, and it explains everything, how the game works, how to use checkpoints, and that you actually have to like go over every single checkpoint before you can reach the finish line, and that there are different abilities and that there are different things that can help you dash to the goal. Like you can fly with balloons and dive. It's very good. I honestly think it's very good. So I go and rub my stylus against the bottom screen, because literally that's all the gameplay there is. Yes, just rubbing your stylus on the bottom screen. And honestly, I can already tell why this game is bad, even though I think the content of the game is great. It was not a good idea to use your stylus for that, because wow, my arm was hurting the first 5 minutes already of the recording session, and I had like a little more to go because I didn't want to end on 5 minutes of footage. Who does that? Not me. So yeah, after the tutorial I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do the first cup, and that's it. I didn't even finish the first cup, and it was fun too, and I think they really did add a lot of difficulty to it, even though it's the beginner cup. But no, if this was with controls, I think this game would have been great. But it's literally just a good game that is held back by one simple design choice. That's it. The game isn't all that bad in my opinion. Either way, those were 3 bad games on the Nintendo DS, and honestly, I didn't expect this video to be so short, but that's probably to be expected considering the games I covered in this video. Either way, not every video needs to be 8 minutes long or something. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.